Welcome to Dark Dragon Does Math. Close math. We're talking about trapezoids. Find the area of trapezoids. And trapezoids are kind of interesting. One thing I like to tell students is trapezoids are basically just triangles that are cut off at one point. What I mean by that is, well, I'll show you at the end of the video or at some point when it becomes relevant. Trapezoids have one set of parallel sides. That's it. So one set of parallel sides. If you want to identify a trapezoid, that is how you do it. You just say parallel. These two lines are parallel. They are never these two sides, guys. They're the ones that look parallel. Now, the ones that are going in the same direction. If you look at that, they're going to meet. If I go like that, look at those two. They're never going to meet. They're going to go alongside each other forever. They're both horizontal. Well, vertical when I write it like that. But we need to be able to decide which ones are parallel. The formula for a trapezoid, the area of a trapezoid, is equal to 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Now, what is base 1 and base 2? Basically, what they are is the two parallel sides. So the bases are always the parallel sides. Also, just like with the parallelograms, the height is never one of the sides. So those are two important things that we need to know about finding the area of trapezoids. So the bases are always the two parallel sides. So in this version, it'd be AD and BC. And the height, if I were to put a height on that, I would have to create my own. It is not one of these two sides because it's not perpendicular to the bases. And it's going to be perpendicular to both bases because they're parallel to each other. And I know we're not super good at perpendicular and parallel at this point, but just understand that it's going to be perpendicular. So if I want to identify both bases and height of the trapezoid here, what I do, and this is what I do, I always say the smallest base is base 1, and then the bigger base is always base 2. Then I get my trusty rulers out, and I put one ruler flush with the bottom base, base 2, and I go to either point at the top of base 1 and come straight down like we've hopefully gotten used to doing by now. So there's my height. For this one, LO is base 1 and base 2 is MN. And if I want to find my height, I can go to this right here, go straight down. Here's my height. This one's a little funny, it's on its side. So what? The small base, these are the two parallel lines out here. So the small base is base 1 and the bigger base is base 2. And so put one like that. Here's my height. And it's sideways, and that's okay. So here's the deal. Well, if I want to find the area of a trapezoid, I want to write this one other way before I continue. This is the same thing as 1/2 the sum of the bases times the height. Now the reason I write sum of the bases, I get it, but I'm going to start saying the word sum of the bases, so I wanted to write that as well. So it's 1/2 base 1 plus base 2, which means the sum of the two bases. So if I want to find the area of a trapezoid here, here's what I do every single time. I write base 1 is equal to, base 2 is equal to, the sum of the bases, what are they added together, what is the height, and then once I know all those, I will begin to write the area formula. It helps. It helps me a lot. Helps me a lot. So if I want to find the area of this, I know base 1 is up here, the small one, base 2 is right there, and this is the height. So base 1 is 12. 12 centimeters. But I'm going to leave off the units to the end. Base 2 is 26. The sum, add those together, is 38. And the height is 14. So area is equal to 1/2 the sum of the bases. So 38 times the height, 14. So the area is equal to 19 times 14. What I did there is I divided 38 by 2, which is 266 centimeters squared. Centimeters coming from the units there. And that's it. So that's how you find the area. Obviously, we need to practice with our homework. And I have a doozy of a question on the back that will definitely help us on our homework. So here's what we got. We have an area of a trapezoid is already given to us, 4,196.5. So the area is equal to 4,196.5. We want to find the area of triangle ADC. We are finding this triangle down here. The thing is about this triangle, we know the area of the trapezoid. Alright, trap. The area of the this triangle is going to be base 56 times height. We don't know the height yet. In fact, we don't even know the height of the trapezoid, but spoiler alert, they're the same. The height of the triangle is the same as the trapezoid since it goes from one side to the other. So I'm going to use the area of a trapezoid formula to find the height of the trapezoid, which is the height of the square, to find the area. So I know this area. I know base 1 of the trapezoid is 56. That's given right there. I know base 2 is 98. And that's, I don't know my height yet, so we have to go from there. So remember, 1/2 A is equal to 1/2 B1 plus B2 times H. And I'll do the B1 plus B2. Sum is equal to 56 plus 98. I believe that is 154. So let's plug it in. A, I know area, 4,196.5 is equal to 1/2 times B1 plus B2, the sum, 154, times the height. So 4,196.5 is equal to 1/2 of 54, 77, times the height. Now we have a one-step equation here. We want to get height alone. We want to know what height is. So to do that, I need to get rid of the 77. Since it's 77 times h, I need to do the opposite. Divide by 77. And I get the height is equal to 54.5. That means this height right here is 54.5 meters. And so what I'm just going to redraw that triangle right there. I'm going to flip it upside down, flip it a way that looks normal to us. Where this is 54.5 and this is 56. Okay? Well, that's all we need to find the area of this triangle, because that's what we want to do. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Here's my base. Here's my height. So it is 1/2 56 times 54.5, which is going to be 28. 56 divided by 2, 28. 28 times 54.5, which is 1,526 meters squared. Feel free to rewind that and pause it at any point to and think about what step did I take at every point. So anyways, I'm going to stop the video. That's it for 10.2. Have a good afternoon. or morning, or whatever. Ma'am!